Now, before we get into this, I gotta let y'all know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the average millionaire has about 7 streams of income. So that means if you only have one stream of income or even two, that's too close to none. How we expect to be millionaires if we're not following the same practices that most millionaires follow? What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Campbell, and we is back with another video. So first and foremost, man, I gotta thank y'all. I can't thank y'all enough for the love and the support y'all be showing on my videos. Y'all also help keep me accountable as well. It be times I don't be wanting to upload. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't be wanting to upload. I don't be want. It's not about uploading. It's about like recording videos, getting ideas and things together, and then like editing and stuff. Cause I'm still new to all this. I never edited a video a day in my life before my first video. Cause even the videos I dropped a couple years ago, I didn't actually edit those. From doing that to doing my thumbnails to recording the content, gathering the information possible, it be taking a lot sometimes. And with everything I be having going on, I don't be want to upload. So I thank y'all for everybody who be DMing me, asking me about when I'm gonna drop and stuff like that, and when the next video coming. I appreciate y'all for keeping me honest and keeping me locked in and keeping me, accountable. If you're new to my channel, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as turn on that notification bell. That way you're notified anytime I drop a video. If this ain't your first time to the channel, man, welcome back. Welcome back. Y'all know we live from the trenches. We live, So I appreciate y'all for keep coming back to my videos, continue to show me love and support, man. Today we're gonna talk about top side hustles in 2021, and not even just in 2021. Really, a lot of these side hustles have been around for years, but ain't nobody really been giving out the game. You feel me? That's one thing I also gotta understand. A lot of rich, successful people don't really give game. Like, they ain't gonna really tell you what they did to get successful. And to a degree, I guess I understand, but I ain't gonna lie. Once you already got the bag, why not share it with somebody else so they can get a bag too? I ain't never understood that selfish mentality, but again, to each his own. Now, before we get into this, I gotta let y'all know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the average millionaire has about 7 streams of income. That means if you only have one stream of income or even two, that's too close to none. At the end of the day, how we expect to be millionaires if we're not following the same practices that most millionaires follow? For example, if I want to go to the NBA, but I read up statistically, let's just say the average NBA player works out 2 to 3 times a day. I say, hey, I want to go to the NBA, but I'm only going to work out once a day. Yeah, is working out once a day better than working out none? Yeah, 100%. But at the end of the day, it's like, hey, if I'm realizing that majority of guys in this league that I want to play in one day, if they all working out 2 to 3 times a day, how much sense does it make me to say, hey, I'm trying to get to where they at, but I'm trying to do, half the work? It doesn't add up necessarily. Now, does that just say that it's not possible? No. But again, that's where it comes to you making your job and your journey a little bit harder. Y'all want to become millionaires. How are we gonna do that? By not following the same practices that millionaires follow. So I hope you catch what I'm saying with that right there. So I think one of the most important things you have to realize is, primary salary. For most people, that's the 9 to 5. That's what we do. That's what we clock into. That's our main bread and butter, our main source of income that a lot of people cannot afford to lose. I think everyone starts this way. I think it's 1,000% normal to start this way, but you don't want to continue to stay this way and finish this way. Another thing that's common amongst millionaires is they have a secondary income, or they count their spouse's salary. So no matter what venture you undertake in life, you need a team. And I'm a firm believer that teamwork, even if it's just to, bounce ideas off of, or somebody that you want to keep track of, or somebody to hold you accountable, I'm a firm believer that multiple heads at the table makes it a better meal instead of trying to do everything on your own. So when you're trying to do a million things all at once on your own, you're making your job a lot harder. So if you got a team of people around you, then hey, do that. And if you can count your spouse's income, why not put your incomes together so that you can continue to reinvest and allow your money that you work hard for to make money for you? Another common practice amongst millionaires is, online businesses and hobbies. So I feel like this is honestly the most common, by creating a side business. This business could be, online or offline. And I call it a hobby business simply because it usually takes a form that relates to the owner's hobby. For example, if you are tech savvy and you enjoy working online, you may sell on eBay, or you create a website, and you promote your services through a site like eBay or even Fiverr, which I talk about a little bit later on in this video. Now, a good side hustle that I practice, this is the only one on this list that's gonna require a college degree, and it's online teaching through a website called VIPkids.com. No matter where you're located at, you'll be teaching kids, how to speak English. VIP Kids is pretty much, you'll be an online teacher and you'll be teaching kids in China how to speak English. Now, mind you, you don't need a lot of experience. You don't need a lot of teaching experience. You don't have to have been 5 years, teaching in elementary school or a high school or middle school, whatever. You don't need all of that. Any experience is good for them. So even if, let's say for example, you worked as a teacher's aide, a tutor, um, if you worked anywhere in a classroom, you were an instructor for even a brief period of time, that's enough experience in order for you to get in the door and teach like this. No preparation required, no lesson plans, like nothing. You don't have to go out of your way to do a whole heap of things in order to like formulate a lesson plan and prepare these children. The template and the formula will be handed to you, and all you simply have to do is execute. That's what makes this a very effective and even an easy way to make some little side cash. Another good side hustle is to be a blog post writer or even just a freelance writer. A lot of companies need writers simply because they don't have the time in order to write the post. And this is something I also told y'all about that I did myself back in 2020. I worked for a magazine company and I wrote articles and things like that. And I made a lot of money. I think I ended up making from that magazine article writing stuff, I think I made like $13,000 or $14,000, which is cool, you know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of money, but again, that adds to that total one, you know, $13,000 a year, that's a little bit over $1,000 a month extra income. I'm not gonna lie, to me it's pretty easy. You're just writing blog posts and articles. So again, you know, articles aren't 5 pages long. You know, this isn't an essay for your graduate level English course. This is, you know, simple basic stuff, and these are things you can easily just get some information about online and write about. So I think this is another great side hustle, another great way to make a little extra cash. Food delivery services such as Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, you know, all these different food delivery services. Now, this is a side hustle that I think can net you good income, but you also have to write off and balance you're gonna have to put a little bit of money into it, because for one, you have to have a vehicle. 2, you're gonna have to continue to put gas in your vehicle. Your car's gonna also have to be insured as well. So these are things you have to account for. But if you live in, let's say, a busy area and you live in a big city, you can make some good money doing this. It's, you know, delivering people their food. Now, I don't think this is the most hassle-free, because you got to go to the restaurant, pick up the food, and drop it off. You know, some people live in apartments or gated communities. You got to get the gate code, and you got to figure out where they at and drop it off. So this ain't a side hustle that me personally I would ever explore. But again, this is also a good side hustle to bring in some extra cash. At the end of the day, it's all about making money, man. We're trying to get money. And regardless of why you on my channel, you want to be a millionaire, or you just want to make 6 figures, or you just trying to learn some free game, or maybe even a young bull, and you really trying to figure out how to make some money as you get older, you know what I'm saying? I think this is a great little side hustle, you know what I'm saying? My first ever job, but a lot of people don't know this, I worked at Pizza Hut, and I was a delivery driver. And that was ass. That was dog. It was terrible. But I learned a lot about it, and it helped me become a better man. That's what motivated me to start playing football and really get in my bag and say, because I can't do that. Now, that was hard work. But again, like I said, Uber Eats and all these different food delivery services, you work when you want to. So you're not clocking in 9 to 5. If you only want to work for an hour or 2 a day, you can do that. If you only want to deliver a couple of meals a day, you're allowed to do that. But remember, the more time you put into anything, the more you're going to get out of it. Instacart is another thing that I'm really starting to realize is starting to boom as of late. You know what I'm saying? 2020, 2021. People is lazy. So they're pretty much, people will go online and they will fill out an order for you. You'll simply it's like a list. You'll receive a list and a picture. From that, you will then shop for these people. You will pick up the items and then you'll take it to them and you'll go drop it off. It's really as simple as 1, 2, 3. And I believe this can pay a lot of good money as well. Like I said, now these are all dependent on your area and where you live at. If you live in a more rural area, then these might not be the most effective side hustles, because you might end up just wasting a lot of time. But if you live in like a big city or a busy area, then I think this is a great little side hustle. Put a little money in your pocket, especially if you're young too. Like, it's just a little, you know, a little extra money. Create an online course is another great online hustle. Now again, this is where you can really finesse people if you know what you're doing. If you're a great talker and you do enough research, and you create an online course. Again, you don't have to be an expert. Like, you know, in 2021, everybody want to learn things online. Everybody's getting out of that old adage where they feel like you have to go to college in order to get an education or to make real money. Everybody wants to learn online. You can create and sell courses, and it's pretty, you know, you can do this in an easy way. You don't need to be an expert. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is create a valuable course. From then, you'll create something that's pretty much based off of a topic that's useful to others. And then you think about an efficient way to portray or give them this information that's important to their lives. What I mean by that is simply, all you simply have to do is do a little research, and you can give people information in a way that's a little bit different. We live in a world where a lot of information we're receiving is regurgitated. We're hearing the same things over and over and over again, but different people are kicking it to you in a different way. You've got to find a way to kick it to people in which they can learn something from you and really benefit from the information you're giving them, even if it's the same thing they've heard it a million times. If you can find a way to give it to them in a different way that it really sticks in their brain and they really understand it, you can really have a successful online business. And the thing is, when you're selling and creating online courses, you're not limited and dictated upon a set fee. If you want to sell your courses $1 million a pop, you're allowed to do that, because again, it's your course and you can't put a ceiling on education and knowledge. Lastly, we're going to talk about Fiverr. I don't know if a lot of you have heard about Fiverr, but Fiverr is pretty much a hub or a bay where you can go on, you can sell online services. Now, these services may include something like graphic design, editing, audio service. You can literally do anything. Video marketing right now is one of the highest paying gigs on the website. A lot of the top rated sellers, they offer services for Instagram, for YouTube, for Twitter, Facebook, pretty much anything, as well as website building and copywriting. This is another one of those things you don't have to leave the house. And if you work your way into a position where you can become a high-rated seller, you can offer a product, sell it for however much you want, and you can make a decent amount of money. I know a lot of people this is common, especially if you have a valuable skill set that others are willing to pay for. This isn't something I don't think I would excel in, because I'm not necessarily good with this stuff. Like I said, I struggle editing my little videos, you feel me? So if I can barely edit my videos, how am I edit yours? But again, it's not my lane, so I'm still learning. But I think Fiverr is another effective way to do it. And like I said, a lot of these things, y'all notice that you're not putting any money in. If you have a roof over your head and you have a computer or something and some internet, a stable internet connection, you can go do this. You can really make some bread. Put outside of like the food delivery services, we have to have a car and gas and all these other different things. You don't need anything other than computer and internet and somewhere, a space to work. Like I said, only one of these requires a college degree, so I think this is cool little side hustles to put a little extra money in your pocket. That wraps up today's video. It wasn't going to be a crazy long one. I just want to get straight to the information and really kick it to y'all again. I talk about a lot of these hustles in my first video, so if you haven't checked that out, please click on that video. Like I said, I made 6 figures sitting at the crib, you know what I'm saying? So and it was during the pandemic. So you gotta understand that, man. It's so many ways to make money, but you have to be a go-getter. You gotta have that mentality. You gotta be able to go out there and get it. When you really in them trenches and you really starving and you really trying to eat, you'll develop a mindset where you're a dog and you ain't finna allow anything to keep you from it. And I'm trying to teach y'all, to those who may not know, especially my young people. So I look at my analytics. A lot of y'all is kind of young. Some people in the age ranges between 16 and 24. And I'm trying to kick it to y'all in a way that y'all can really learn and get some good knowledge and really put y'all on game. I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all again for clicking on my video. If you haven't already, please follow me on my social media platforms. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, as well as Snapchat. And if you've made it to this point in the video, drop a gorilla emoji in the comments. New to my channel again, please hit that subscribe button as well as turn on that notification bell and drop a like the video, you know what I'm saying? Let me know that, hey, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you for putting out the content, and I appreciate what you're doing for the people in the trenches. It is in every video. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a banker. I'm not some genius. I'm just a young who happen to make some good money, and I know that if I can do it, anybody can. Get your information from whoever you want to. I'm not gonna be a guy that's gonna cap to you and tell you gotta get your information from me because I give it to you the best. No, I think I give it to you in a relatable way, but if it ain't for you, this ain't for you, and I can't get mad at that. Be a silver spoon fed boy, go ahead and hit the dislike button. We waiting on you, you know what I'm saying? We laughing at you. Man, y'all ain't our ops, bro. Like, we don't even know y'all exist, you feel me? So again, man, I thank y'all. I love those who love me. Catch y'all again next time at our next video.